And I'll call the meeting to order for September of 2021. Will you please rise and pledge allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Post.
Here.
White.
Here.
Underhill.
Here.
Michaelak.
Here.
Zambito.
Here. Someone move to approve the minutes of the August 18th regular town board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Underhill.
Yes.
Zambito.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Michaelak.
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Are there any speakers this evening?
Just listening for right now, thank you.
What's that?
I'm just listening for right now.
Okay. Young lady, are you here for,
I'm just listening.
what's that?
I'm just listening for a school thing.
Okay, are you gonna require a signature or an affidavit of some kind?
Yes, sir.
For the record, we don't give those. I will, however, sign that, but there will be a quiz at the end of the meeting.
He's not kidding. He's not kidding.
So, if you pay attention, I mean it, that's just serious. You're in civics class and you're learning how the function of government works. For all the camaraderie and this is important business at the local level, and you would hope to pay attention enough. And at the end of our meeting, I will be happy to sit with you and give you a brief quiz, and then if you are passing that quiz, I'll be happy to sign that for you.
She's like, no.
Sharon, resolution number 153, please.
Resolution to introduce proposed local law number 4 of 2021 and to schedule a public hearing. As written, so moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
White.
Yes.
Michaelak.
Yes.
Zambito.
Yes.
Underhill.
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Dan, resolution number 154.
Training workshop. Resolved, the Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes the following personnel to attend training workshops: Joseph Neff, EPA Community Water Systems Emergency Response Plan Workshop, September 21st, 2021. There is no cost for this webinar. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Underhill.
Yep.
White.
Yes.
Michaelak.
Yes.
Zambito.
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Someone move to remove from the table resolution number 61 of 2021 entitled Resolution Authorizing Assignment of Ellicott Trail Easements to the City of Batavia.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on the Patty, resolution number 150? Well, roll call, please.
Underhill.
Yes.
Michaelak.
Yes.
Zambito.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Patty, resolution 1.
No, you're next.
You're right, 155. Here's your blooper reel,
There it is.
There it is.
just for you. Whereas the town acquired certain easements to support the development of the Ellicott Trail, including the following: tax ID number 84.015-1-37.311, instrument DE 2017-1926 Ellicott Station LLC. Number 84.015-1-37.312, instrument number DE 2017-1926 Ellicott Station LLC. Tax ID number 84.020-1-4, instrument DE 2018-563 Elmwood Cemetery Association. Tax ID number 85.013-1-23.1, instrument number DE 2018-669-665 East Main LLC. And tax ID number 85.013-1-74, instrument number DE 2018-359 Batavia Gardens LP, collectively the easements. And whereas the town now wishes to assign the city of Batavia all of its right, title, and interest in and to such easements and all Ellicott Trail improvements thereon, now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby authorizes and directs the supervisor to execute and deliver to the city all instruments necessary and sufficient to assign the easements and all Ellicott Trail improvements thereon to the city in the form acceptable to the attorney for the town and the town engineer so moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Post,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Hattie, number 156.
Professional services agreement between the town of Batavia and Wendel Company, solar energy systems law update. Whereas the town of Batavia recently adopted a local law placing a moratorium on solar energy systems to allow time to update the solar law, and whereas the solar committee interviewed 4 consulting groups to assist in the process of updating the solar law and recommends Wendel companies at a time and expense basis cost not to exceed $9,500. Now therefore be it resolved, Batavia Town Board authorizes the supervisor to execute the agreement with Wendel for professional services to assist in the process of updating the solar energy systems law at a time and expense basis cost not to exceed $9,500, a copy of which is annexed to and made part of the town board minutes. Resolved, the expenditure will be appropriated from line item A8020.405. So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Oh, somebody.
Roll call, please.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Congratulations, Chad. Go to work.
Yay.
Finally.
Number 157.
Approval of change order 2021-02, operation and maintenance, town of Batavia, landfill Superfund site. Whereas Arcadis is under contract with the town of Batavia and the city of Batavia to provide engineering services at the town of Batavia landfill Superfund site. And whereas the agreement, the town of Batavia and the city of Batavia are requested to fund the operation and maintenance activities at the site. And whereas Arcadis has submitted a letter detailing the scope of work and additional cost estimate for engineering services to be provided for the operation and maintenance at the site attached. And whereas the cost for the service is estimated at $2,000, 75% to be incurred by the city of Batavia, 25% to the town. Now therefore be it resolved, the town of Batavia hereby authorizes the supervisor to execute the change order 2021-02, a copy of which is annexed here to and made part of the minutes for the aforementioned engineering services to be performed by Arcadis for the town of Batavia landfill Superfund site. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Zambito,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Sharon, resolution 158.
I make a motion to table Resolution 158, authorizing amendment to Park Road Improvements Agreement between the Town of Batavia and Off Track Bedding Corp.
Second.
Roll call on the motion to table.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Dan, resolution 159.
An amendment and restating bond resolution dated September 15, 2021 of the Town Board of the Town of Batavia, Genesee County, New York, the town amending the bond resolution that was adopted on July 21st, 2021, and authorizing the reconstruction of the construction of improvements to various roads in the town, Preliminary Park Road, at an estimate maximum cost of $4.3 million, and authorizing the insurance and serial bonds in an agreement principal amount not to exceed $4.3 million of the town pursuant to local finance law to finance such purpose, such amount to be offset by any federal, state, county, and or local funds received and delegating the power to issue bond anticipated notes in anticipation of the sale of such bonds to the town supervisor. As written, so moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
One second, something got goofed up here. Oopsie. Underhill,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Resolution 160. Resolution to approve supplemental agreement number 2 for Park Road Improvement Project. Whereas the town of Batavia and the New York State Department of Transportation, herein referred to as New York State DOT, entered into an original agreement on December 16, 2009, and supplemental agreement number 1 on November 18, 2020 for the town to provide engineering, design, and right-of-way acquisition services for the improvements to Park Road between New York State Route 98 and New York State Route 63. And whereas the town and New York State DOT wish to amend the agreement again with a supplement agreement number 2 to include the construction funding for the project by revising Schedule A to include a total construction cost of $3,248,915, with $2,599,132 federal share, $435,000 state Marchicelli share, and $214,783 local share, and to include a local share for the water main and street lighting betterment at a total cost of $1,108,085. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board does hereby authorize and approve supplemental agreement number 2 with schedules A and B annexed thereto for the Park Road Improvement Project in a total amount of $3,248,915, and the town will comply with all the terms and conditions therein. And it is further resolved that the town board does hereby authorize initial payment of 100% of the $2,599,132 federal share and the $435,000 state Marchicelli share of the construction cost, which will be reimbursed by the New York State DOT. And resolved that the aforesaid sum of $3,248,915 is hereby appropriated and made available to cover the cost of construction and the project set forth in the agreement. And it is further resolved that in the event the full federal and non-federal share of the project exceeds the amount appropriated above, the town board shall convene as soon as possible to appropriate said excess amount immediately upon notification by the New York State DOT thereof. And it is further resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized to execute the aforesaid agreement and any and all other agreements, certifications, or documents needed for federal aid and/or Marchicelli aid on behalf of the town of Batavia with the New York State DOT in connection with the advancement or approval of the project. And it is further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution be filed with the New York State Commissioner of Transportation by annexing it to any necessary agreement in connection with the project. And it is further resolved that this resolution take effect immediately. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Post,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Do you need me to repeat any of those numbers? Patty, Resolution 161.
Bid award Park Road Improvement Project. Whereas the town of Batavia received bids August 12th, 2021 at 10 a.m. for the construction of the Park Road Improvement Project. The project consists of reconstruction of 1.2 miles of Park Road between New York State Route 63 and New York State Route 98, town of Batavia. And whereas Concrete Applied Technologies Corporation, DBA Catco, located at 1266 Town Line Road, Albion, New York, was the lowest responsible bidder at a cost of $4,077,000 and no cents. And whereas the town engineering staff has completed a review of the low bidder, and whereas the town engineer and assistant town engineer recommends awards of the contract to Concrete Applied Technologies Corp. And now therefore be it resolved, the Batavia Town Board hereby awards the bid to Catco, a total amount of $4,077,000 and no cents. The reconstruction of 1.2 miles of Park Road between New York State 63 and 98. The award is also contingent on the contractor providing insurance and bonding as approved by the town attorney. And be it further resolved, the Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes the supervisor to execute the contract agreement with Catco once the aforementioned conditions are met. The board further authorizes the supervisor and assistant town engineer to execute all necessary certifications or reimbursement requests for federal aid on behalf of the town as necessary during the construction of the project. So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
I have a question. I thought they were from Alden, not Albion.
I don't, let me see if I've got it listed on here. I don't have the bids out here, but I have this information.
I was curious about that. They are Alden,
Is it Alden?
I
That's
believe
what I
so.
thought.
Address is right, it's all.
Okay,
Okay, we'll
we'll
fix that.
change that
We'll
to
fix that.
Albion.
Okay.
Just a
Alden,
typo
New York.
must be.
Yeah,
Nice catch.
Great job, Sharon.
that's old after all, huh?
Got by you, young whippersnappers.
Yeah.
How was your day?
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Top that, Chad.
Resolution authorizing professional design engineering services for Park Road reconstruction and improvement project, Robbie Engineering and Land Surveying PC, as written, so moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Zambito,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Hearing 163.
Professional services agreement between the town of Batavia and EYW Companies LLC, water, wastewater pump station, instrumentation monitoring services agreement. Whereas EYW Companies has completed a scope of services associated with monitoring systems at the water and wastewater pump stations and other town sites. And whereas EYW Companies has prepared a proposal to update our current instrumentation monitoring systems on an estimated and budgeted time and expense basis for a total time and expense basis budget of $11,040. And whereas the town engineer recommends approval of these services for the long-term operational reliability and maintainability of our water and wastewater systems. And whereas the town engineer will oversee and approve the time and expense as required to complete the above tasks. And whereas the expenditures will be from SS1, SS2, and SW funds as proportioned by the town engineer based upon actual time spent per fund. Now therefore be it resolved, the Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement for services with EYW Companies LLC on a time and expense basis for at a not to exceed amount of $11,040, a copy of which is annexed hereto and made a part of the minutes. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
White,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. And then resolution 164, please.
A proposal for professional services between the town of Batavia and Surinsky Consultant LLC, owner representative design services, town hall and highway improvements. Whereas the town of Batavia is considering improvements to the town hall and the highway facility, and whereas in July 2021, the town contracted with Surinsky's Consultant LLC for architectural and engineering and pre-construction sub-consultant services, and whereas the town requests a proposal for owner's representative and design services to include development construction plans, bidding and monitoring work activities, and whereas Surinsky Consultant LLC submitted a proposal agreement for the architectural and engineering sub-consultant services at a cost of $13,250. Now therefore be resolved, the town Batavia Town Board hereby approves the proposed agreement with Surinsky Consultant LLC, a copy of which is annexed and hereto made part of the minutes for architectural and engineering sub-consultant services for improvements to the town hall and highway at a cost of $13,250. Resolved, the supervisor is hereby authorized to execute the proposed agreement, and be it further resolved, the expenditures will be from line item A1620.400, or 404. So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
There's your blooper.
Roll call, please.
Underhill?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Michaelak?
Yes.
Zambito?
Yes.
Post.
That concludes resolutions this evening. I need a motion to pay the abstract.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Underhill?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Michaelak?
Yes.
Zambito?
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Under department reports, Highway Department had been engaged in the last 3 weeks, finished off the South Main Street culvert replacement project. That's paved and the guardrails installed. They've been preparing sites for micro sealing and micro chipping at the Batavia Fire Hall and the Grandview Cemetery on a contract basis, and preparing road shoulders and finishing up the mowing in preparation for winter operations, because winter is coming. Water Sewer Department had been upgrading meters, upgrading meter vaults and pump station infrastructure. They have been cleaning and doing maintenance on sanitary sewer lines and doing inspections, responding to service calls, and also prepping for cold weather operations. Building inspection continues to be busy with applications and queries from site selectors and developers. Training has been completed by the staff. I think everybody is up to full speed on the training now, so they have a full contingent of staff doing that. That's it, based on my recollection from our conversations this week. My report on the expenditures and revenues are available for your review. And I'll just let you know there is a GAM meeting tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. via Zoom. Clerk, do you have anything to report?
Yeah, the August Town Clerk monthly report, we collected a total of $8,265.20. I remitted $4,783.08 to the supervisor for the local share. We have been extremely busy with the hunting license sales this year. Walmart system was down, so we had lines wrapped around the building. Training and Livingston County Planning Department is hosting a fall land use training, and that's gonna be September 21st, and that's in collaboration with New York State Department of State.
Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you. Committee reports.
Solar Committee, we're meeting the 23rd with our newly appointed consultant.
There's no other committee reports.
Yeah, housing's next week, September 8th, I'll have housing.
What did
Okay.
she say?
September 8th.
Housing.
Housing is
When is
September
that?
8th.
September 8th?
Housing initiatives meeting is September 8th.
That was last
September
week.
8th?
I'm
gone
sorry,
by.
October 8th. Blooper.
Okay, that is, filling the reel.
Tonight.
October 8th.
Okay.
I'm listening for right now. I have something I'd like to say.
Oh, he's got something to say. He's got something to say.
Do you have any?
You have to say something?
When we're situated, I was gonna bring forward a little topic I had on my mind, maybe share with the town board.
Well, this is the opportunity at the beginning of the
Great.
meeting to raise and state your name and address and,
Bill Sutton, 8290 Lewis Road here, town of Batavia. Addressing this, the override of the tax cap. As a privileged town of Batavia citizen, living here for 30 years, I was wondering if we could get other communities outside the town of Batavia to help contribute funds to the town of Batavia to address this so citizens in the town don't have to pay higher property tax. The way I was thinking about going about this is when I looked at Erie County's structure, they're at 8.75% tax on sales tax. Why can't the town of Batavia add, like, go to 8.25%, use the 25% to prevent citizens in the town of Batavia and companies absorbing this cost where everybody from outlying communities come here to do their shopping? Why can't we benefit from that? Why can't the town of Batavia implement a little bit more sales tax to compensate for this instead of property owners and businesses picking up the slack? It was just a thought I was having, and I was hoping maybe we could expand on that and go forward with something of that effect.
I can respond in a short note, and we are available here all the time, and I appreciate your question. Sales taxes are outside of the towns or villages bailiwick. There are, in Genesee County, two entities that are eligible to collect sales tax. One is Genesee County,
Correct.
and one is the City of Batavia. Traditionally, over the last 20 or 30 years, there have been a collaboration between those two entities to allow the county to collect all of the sales tax and then distribute 50% of those revenues collected, or some portion of that 50%, to the communities on an ad valorem basis, which means communities will get a percentage of the sales taxes collected by Genesee County, whether it's 8% or 8 1/4 or 8 1/2 or 8 3/4. Those are distributed based on the community's assessed valuation, taxable assessed valuation. So the City of Batavia and the county came to an agreement recently, over the past several years, where the City of Batavia, I believe, is guaranteed a 14 or 16% share of all of the revenues generated in all of Genesee County. And then the balance of that 84 or 86% is distributed by Genesee County in an apportionment that was just announced a month ago, I believe, of $10 million will be distributed to the 13 towns and 6 villages on a proportional basis based on those individual communities' total assessed value. I believe the town of Batavia total assessed value qualified them for around 15% of that, which is a substantially higher number than many of the other local communities. So to answer your question, we can increase sales tax, and that being said, we are supported in this community by sales taxes, and the sales tax revenues have traditionally been twice what the property tax collection levy was. So for every dollar collected in property taxes, we have been benefited by $1.50 to $2 in sales tax revenues already. And that sales tax is paid by citizens not living in the town of Batavia to the county, and then apportioned back based on our total assessed valuation. So I hope that answers some of your question.
A lot of it, but I'm looking at down the road. You know, here we are today, we have a shortfall. We all understand that, we understand where we're at. But to bring business and people into the community, to take that next step for New York State even, there has to be some mechanism, some way that we could go about adding that sales tax to the town of Batavia. Everybody from surrounding communities come here. We're the ones that are, and like you had already brought forward, but we're the ones that deal with the extra traffic. We have all the employment, a lot of the employment opportunities in the town, not in the city. So there has to be something we can do as a town to increase sales tax. There has to be something that we can go forward doing this to make it even more beneficial to live in the town, to bring business in from outside.
I am more than happy to follow this conversation up with you and give you some sense of how much time and effort has been spent by this organization to address that. And one of the questions that comes up is, how much benefit does Genesee County get by having a lower sales tax rate to attract shoppers from counties that have a higher sales tax rate? And does the offset...
County's at right now in our surrounding area, the 8.75.
Well, I understand, but we have spent a lot of time looking at the consequence. Right now, we're an attractive site for equipment sales, heavy equipment. We just had a groundbreaking this week. I'm looking at the larger scale sales of automobiles and heavy equipment.
So am I.
And if you're selling $1 million bulldozer and you're selling it because your sales taxes are 8% instead of 8.75%, and they're buying it and taking delivery here, we're getting the benefit of some of those revenues that we wouldn't get if our sales tax rate was the same as it was in another county.
But we would
That's-
still be lower than Erie County at 8.75. We went to 8.25
We-
here in the town.
We can debate this at some other point, and I appreciate your comment. And I'd be happy to invite you to any of our future work sessions. We are open and transparent board that meets every Wednesday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and stays until the business of the town is done on a weekly basis. And you call the town clerk so that we can prepare for you. And I'm happy to hear your perspective and your comments. And you live on Lewiston Road.
63.
Lewiston Road.
Applebee's and the Thruway.
I'm happy to see the participation. And,
Well, it
and
was a thought I was having, and I'm looking at all this, and I've been reading and trying to find all sorts of information. I'm not equipped with everything available, but hoping that we could, as a town, and the benefit of living here is what draws everybody into the town of Batavia to do their shopping. Why, and in my mind, I'm thinking, why can't we benefit from this so that our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren will also have that benefit going forward? We will prevent the shortfall by adding the 0.25% sales tax across the board to make it fair for not only the residences, the businesses, everybody. Keep the property tax down, that'll draw business in from the outside, and everybody will contribute. This is, the more you make, the more you spend, the more you contribute to the community.
I'm going to answer that. The short answer to this is that there is absolutely no obligation for Genesee County to share one dime of sales tax revenue with any community, they are entitled to keep 100% of it, and it is only through the strict negotiations over the last 20 years by this board and their predecessors to come to some rational agreement where the county gets what they need to sustain their operation and not defer maintenance, and the communities in the county are benefited by the apportionment of sales taxes that they are. And I wanna just state for the record, I believe Genesee County probably distributes more sales tax revenue to communities inside Genesee County, including the town of Batavia, than any other county in New York State. I could be wrong. There might be one or two other counties that do a better job with sales tax distribution than Genesee County. But locally, they take a significant $10 million of the revenue they collect in sales tax, and they give it back to the towns to subsidize town and village operations to maintain a lower tax rate.
Understandable.
And this resolution adopted to
Break the tax.
override the tax cap is a statement that our community has been strategic and has been looking down the road 5, 10, and 15 years financially, and retained by these resolutions annually the ability to manage our assets and modify our cash flow to meet the needs of our community so that we're not bound and restricted by New York State and prevented from maintaining infrastructure that is key to being an attractive community to developers, both international site selectors and local developers.
Absolutely, we have a throughway exit right here, we have
We
plenty
have
of-
it all, we exploit that to the highest degree possible, and we do use a maximum amount of sales tax revenue from a relatively generous distribution from Genesee County in their latest agreement with the city. It's a 40-year deal, I believe, 38 or 40 years, that we're going to be guaranteed that cash in that amount. And that was just passed last week by the city, and I believe the legislature will adopt it. This has not been taken lightly, and your point is well taken, and it has been a topic of conversation for 15 years since I was elected. This has been a key point in how do we better position the town of Batavia to be in a financially stable place forever to the future. The override to the tax cap is essentially a response to the previous governors telling us what we can and can't do with our fiscal policies. I don't know anybody in business or anybody in government that can accurately forecast the future and anticipate the cost to maintain highways, roads, bridges, water, sewer lines. And to put a cap on the revenue is the same as telling somebody you've got to pay ever-increasing costs for roofing and siding and mortgage and taxes, but you're never going to get a raise.
Oh, well, with the inflation going the way it is, and
We-
I'm looking down the future at, homeowners and businesses here, all right, we're gonna break the tax cap, so this is the first step in a ladder costing us more in the privilege to live here in Batavia.
We have passed this legislation every year, I believe, since it was enacted.
Yeah.
So
And-
it was an outside look.
I appreciate that.
I would like to just have a little input and possibly, maybe I'll stop here next Wednesday at 5.
We're here every Wednesday evening from 5 to 7. Just let the clerk know that you're coming. We'll have you on the agenda. And these are open meetings, and we've been excited to have participation.
Well,
And you're
It's-
welcome to attend and ask the questions and be informed and you're a part of this community, and your job as a citizen is to participate.
yes, it is.
As Thomas Jefferson
Unfortunately,
said,
I have been an over-the-road truck driver for quite a while, not available to participate, and now I am, so now you're stuck with me.
you're gonna be most welcome, because there's two people in this room who were raised by over-the-road truck drivers, and I'm one of them, and the other one is the journalist sitting there taking a scribe.
All right,
Respect your profession, and certainly welcome your point of view.
business owner, and
You're most welcome.
All right, so as a fresh perspective on an outlook, possibly we could have a little,
You write your list of questions. We'll do our very best to answer and respond. And young lady, this is government at its best. This is the entry level of government at the national level. This is the only form of governance in the state of New York and United States where a citizen who pays taxes and resides in a community has direct access to the decision makers elected that control the finances and the pace and the tempo of the development of the community. You are a lucky girl because these don't happen frequently enough. This is an unbelievable opportunity for you to see how the Constitution of New York State and the United States was intended. Thomas Jefferson said, this is a government of the people, by the people, for the people that participate. And the only way he will communicate his message, and the only way we'll hear it, is if he participates as he did. And I commend him for doing that, and I commend you for attending this evening's session. I'm going to take 2 questions off your quiz. No, thank you for your participation.
overall.
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Oh, no.
Did you
Sure.
make the motion?
Any old business?
Oh,
No,
okay.
old business.
Any new business?
Sir.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Post.
Yes.